Good morning, good morning. Back with my naked face for the first time in 2019. You're welcome. So as you can see, I've got a little bit to cover. I had a little bit of a rosacea flare up. I'm not sure if it's the weather or something that I ate or whatever, but possibly hormones, who knows? So I'm just gonna go ahead and prep my face a little bit. And as promised in my Facebook Live video last night, I'm going to be showing you guys how to use the Savvy Minerals Diaper Rash Cream as your primer for your foundation. I know it sounds really crazy, this thing that is designed to be put on babies' butts as your primer for foundation, but I was super skeptical. A lot of people started using this, I think at Lindsay Elmore's suggestion, as a concealer by itself, and then some people started trying combining it with the foundation and so on and so forth, and it just took off from there. I bought it, I tried it. My first attempt was devastatingly bad. And so I just kind of pushed it to the back of my vanity table and left it at that. But yeah, I decided to go ahead and give it another try after several people raved about it on the Facebook page. And I've been trialing it for about 2 weeks, and I really do like it. There are some pros and cons, just like with anything else. And but I thought I would kind of talk you guys through some of those things and show you how I apply it. So yeah, let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I noticed about this is that the cream is very, very thick and hard to get out of the container. So, you know, for me, I just squeeze the tube a little harder and it's okay, but some people have a harder time with it than others. My suggestion for that is to warm up the bottle a little bit, and the best way to do it is really to just, it's the bra trick, just like with, you know, rose oil and stuff. Stick it in your bra for a few minutes, do the rest of your skincare, dry your hair, whatever, and have a cup of coffee and then pull it out, and it'll probably be a bit easier for you to squeeze. Once you get it out, you need less than you think you do. So I'm going to start with about that much, and that may even be a little too much for my under eye area, which I'm going to put on first. And another thing that I noticed when I started trialing this is that, again, it's very thick, and if you just take it out of the tube like this and start trying to apply it to your face, you're going to be, you know, tugging and pulling quite a bit, and probably wind up using more than you actually need because it doesn't exactly glide across the skin super easily. But if you warm it up first, similar to coconut oil, you know, in solid form, you apply a little bit of body heat to it and it melts away. That's what happens with this. So I just, for my concealer, I rub it between my ring fingers here, and then I just tap it under my eyes and in the designated area, you know. And I'm gonna actually let that sit for a while, but I wanted to show you this on my eyes because I think a lot of people have kind of been a little misled thinking that like this is just as good as concealer by itself. It's not, unless you just need a little bit of brightness under your eyes and you don't have any discoloration or dark circles or anything. You're gonna need to use foundation over this. It has titanium oxide in it, which gives it that white cast. So again, if you just need brightness, you could probably put this and be fine, but I have dark circles because I have allergies and stuff, and so I'm gonna need to put some foundation on top of this, and we'll do that later. For the rest of my, so hold that thought. For the rest of my face, again, you need less than you think you do. I start with about that much, which is about half the amount of moisturizer that I use. And again, I rub it between my fingers. Try to keep it on my fingertips there, or, you know, my phalanges, not down into my palm. And then I lightly pat and lightly rub it into my face to spread it across. If you feel like it's soaking in too fast for you. Like if you have a drier skin, you may need to go back in with a little bit more. And I am gonna take just a tiny bit more and apply it. I'm not doing my chin because that is a trouble spot for me. I tried putting this down on my chin and it didn't last at all. But what did last was the mattifying primer when I used that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a generous amount on my chin, and then I'm gonna bake the foundation over that. And when I do that, it holds up all day. So, okay. One other thing, if you feel like, you know, again, it soaked into your skin a little too quickly, or you got distracted and you took too much time, you can just mist your face with a little bit of misting spray or some rose water just to kind of reactivate the moisture to help you to build the coverage. Now, so I'm gonna go in just like normal with my brush and my misting spray. However, I do find that I don't need as much misting spray as I do with other foundation application methods. So I'm just gonna mist my brush once, swirl it in there to get all the goodness, and then I'm gonna dip into my foundation, and then I'm gonna tap it off to kind of blend it across the brush a little bit. And then I'm gonna go in over the center of my face first in circular motions outwards. Spray my brush again, load it up again, and do the same thing on the other side. Someone on the page said that they didn't even use misting spray anymore. I tried it that way and I wasn't able to achieve the coverage level that I need doing that. So just one spritz of the misting spray made a big difference for me while I was trialing this. Okay, so I'm just, you know, applying it as per normal, misting my brush, and I hope you can already see, you know, that the coverage is built up pretty quickly and pretty easily. I wouldn't recommend heavily baking with this foundation. I do the light baking on my my chin, but otherwise no. And with the concealer, I'll show you guys in a minute, I don't even do the baking with my concealer, which is my normal method for concealer. Because with one thing about this as your primer, using the Diaper cream, this guy, as your primer, is that it does give you a bit more of a makeup-y look. You know, when I apply Savvy Minerals the traditional way, or even with my DIY Glow Primer, it tends to look more skin-like. You know, like I just have really, really good skin. With this, the coverage builds up more quickly, and it does tend to look more like makeup. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean cake face. I don't mean like, dang girl, that's some makeup, you know. I just mean it's more obvious, just slightly more obvious on the skin than it is, in my experience, with the other application methods. But I like it. It gives me the coverage that I need, and like, again, it doesn't look overdone is my point. So here I am baking over my chin lightly to cover my trouble spot. Finding the exact right amount for you and how much of this you actually need on your face is important. The first time that I tried it, the second time around, I didn't put enough, and I wasn't able to achieve the coverage that I needed. So then I overcompensated the next time and I used too much, and it looked very heavy, very makeup-y, and I immediately developed like a rivulet of foundation in that dimple part of my chin. So, which is not the look that I'm going for. So it'll take a little bit of trial and error for you to find the exact right amount that you need. I would just, my word of, I guess, rule of thumb is you're gonna need less than you think you do. And you can always add more. You can't really take it away once you've put it on your face. So just like with everything else, start low and go slow to find your perfect amount. And another reason why I tested it out for so long, 2 weeks basically, is because I wanted to make sure that I could replicate the same level of coverage, time and time again, and that it wouldn't be like daily struggling to get the right mix right and my face looking different every single day. Okay, so that's my coverage on my face done. We're gonna move on to the under eye concealer. It is still a little bit tacky, which is good, not overly shiny. Normally, I would dip a dry sponge into my concealer color and lightly bake under my eyes. I tried that with this, and within a couple of hours, every line, every crease, every bit of crepiness was so evident under my eyes. I looked 10 years older. So I tried it a different way. And basically what I do is I apply it when I apply when I apply this for the rest of my face. I apply the layer for my concealer, and then I just put on the rest of my face. And then I come back in with this guy. I lightly mist it, very lightly. And then I dip into my concealer color and I tap off just like I would with my regular foundation brush, and then I buff it in under my eyes. And I get a lot better results. It holds up better throughout the course of the day. It doesn't sink into all the fine lines and wrinkles and stuff that want to be there under my eyes. And yeah, I had much better results using a brush. And I don't have the Savvy Minerals concealer brush, but you could probably use that for this too if you have that. Now you'll see, like, it's covered, it's blended in with the rest of my face. That brightness that they keep talking about really is only evident when you use it by itself. But you can add additional brightness with the, where is it? The matte veil. So I'm gonna just tap in with another little brush here, and I'm gonna sweep that just under there to add a little bit of extra brightness, which probably is not super noticeable on camera, but sorry. Okay, so another thing that I noticed about this is that it is very smoothing over the pores. So I really like that about this. And why did I do that? I never missed my blush brush. It's very smoothing over the pores, and I find that the shimmery look of blushes is minimized a little bit without any additional steps taken. So I noticed that when I was trialing out a regular foundation, not a Savvy one, and it did not look near as shimmery on that foundation as it did when I put it over the Savvy foundation using either this is my primer or the Glow Primer. And I'm having the same result when I use this as my primer. It is not nearly as shimmery as with any other application method, which is good. So the last thing I want to do is just add a little bit of highlight. So, excuse me, I'm going to go into my Diamond Dust veil. Just put a little bit in the usual places. Okay, and lipstick. I'm going to wear Posh today. Now, who is this primer good for? That's a good question. Tina, thanks for asking. You're welcome. I was surprised at how well it held up for me. If you don't need a whole lot of coverage, you can use a minimal amount of this. Hang on, sorry. You can use a minimal amount of this if you have oily skin. And you don't need full coverage. You can use a minimal amount of this and it will actually look pretty matte and stay pretty matte throughout the course of the day. If you need more coverage, it will start with a kind of a satin finish at the beginning of the day, and it will get a little more natural towards dewy towards the end of the day, but not shiny, not oily, not, ooh, girl, blot your face, you know? I really, really like the finish of this, and I appreciate the smoothingness that it gives me over my cheeks. So my pores are not nearly as visible or evident as they might normally be, especially towards the end of the day. My only concern, I can't speak to dry skin. I would think if it works great for an oily skin, it'll probably work well for a dry skin. The only thing that I would suggest maybe doing differently if you from oily to dry, if you have oily skin, when you apply your skincare, let it soak in. You can't go right in with this on top and then immediately apply your foundation. That is what I normally do with all the other priming methods and application methods that I've tried. Skincare, primer, foundation, immediately. With this, you need to let the skincare soak in because it's just too much and the makeup does not hold up. Within like an hour or so, I had, you know, makeup pooling in places and starting to break down and everything. So if you have a dry skin, you probably don't have to do that. You can probably go skincare, primer, foundation immediately like that. The only skin that I would be hesitant to recommend, and again, this is just a guess, it is not anything that I've tried, but I will attempt to test it out, is more mature skins. And if anybody with a mature skin has tried this and has any sort of experience they want to share, please put that down in the comment section. I would appreciate that. But because of the experience that I had under my eyes, I would think that application over the whole face could be a little bit tricky, and it might have a tendency to gather in places, but I don't know that from experience. So if anybody does, please share that with us. Again, I'm gonna try to test it on like my mom or something, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's my only hesitation. Otherwise, you get 2 ounces for what, like $12 versus an ounce for $35. And it works on an oily skin. It does look, again, a tiny bit more evident on my face than it does any other way, but it's not bad. It's not over the top. I hope you can see that. I like it. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I like it. So there's my application method for this. I hope that it was helpful for you. If so, please give this video a thumbs up before you leave. If you have any comments or questions about anything that I shared, you can pop those down in the comment section below and I'll answer them as soon as I can. Thank you so much for watching. I hope y'all have an awesome Friday and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.